Kelly and my brother hang around more.
So y'all aren't.
You get
friends.
what I'm saying? Bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like why y'all all ain't hanging out with like each other, like hang out with them all instead of like just this is like a co-working, bro. This is really co-working. This is co-working. It's got friends, but it mostly is co-working, bro. This y'all co-workers, bro. And we got Cinco exposed DDG one day and what that Capaholics shit is that, bro. Cause we already checked out the other ones. So it's a lot of stuff going on, man, with DDG and the whole Capaholic group thingy. Let's check this out, bro.
Even that group, like it's not a real group, bro. Like that ain't real. Them ain't real. Like, and I'm not saying like speaking on as far as everybody individually. I'm just speaking as a group. That's not a real friend group, bro. That's not a real friend group. Like I said, I felt like he was the program. He ran the program. You know what I'm saying? So they kept adding me back and just tearing it down, like coming at it in real disrespectful ways, talking to it like a friend would never talk to. Again, like
I want to start off by saying Cinco is lying. I am the program. Yeah.
Let's see.
Call me DD program.
Talk about grand opening and then grand closing. Doing group content isn't some sort of unfamiliar venture for DDG. He had one in the past featuring Pootie and Shark and Ty the Guy and some other content creators. And we all know how successful group content can be. If you look at 2Hype, if you look at FaZe, if you look at AMP, Sidemen for what it's worth, doing some sort of group content has always shown in content creation that it can be very, very lucrative. But this isn't just
I already paused me. Yeah, cause I remember on King Sid had a group and that didn't even last that long. I was kind of like rooting for them, but yeah, that didn't even last long, bro. That's crazy.
Venture that you throw together. And to be honest with you, for every AMP and Beta Squad that's out there, there's a failed group that had a couple of months of success, had a bunch of turmoil behind the scenes, whether it was about money, women, drugs, whatever the case may be, and they fell off just as quick as they started. Which brings me to the Capaholics. People have been talking about how collaboration and streaming is something that is going to propel a bunch of people forward. So it naturally made sense for a new streaming group to prop up. That is the group that DDG started, featuring likes of Cinco, his brother Dub, and Deshae Freaky Frost.
Yeah. Clap. Like, I'm the only one that claps. Come on now. Let's get it.
Now, I want to make something very clear. I'm going to go into group content a little bit later into this video, but I just want people to know that you cannot throw groups together. I understand they can be very lucrative having somebody else to bounce.
Yeah, like I said once again, on King Sid, he had a group, and that they didn't even last that long, bro. I was so, cause I was, hoping those brothers would, do good and go big. But I was like, okay, them Florida boys doing something, but yeah. So I hope the Capaholics ain't gonna be like them, bro. Oh, it might. I don't know, bro. It might. We don't know.
Content ideas off of 24/7 365, and that is the service level. But there's something called team building that goes into this, and this is why other groups have failed in the past. You can't just slap a bunch of content creators together or a bunch of guys you think is funny together in order to make some sort of group. There's dynamics and energies, and there's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff that have to do with people's personalities that have to come into play. And we know that there can be some strong personalities when we're dealing with DDG, Dub, Deshae Frost, and Cinco. So off rip, I was skeptical as hell. Now, if I had to do a hierarchy of who is in this group, I would say it's DDG up here and then Cinco falling somewhere short, but definitely second in this group when it comes to who is the most poppin'est, littest streamer. So it was very interesting that a lot of people saw him in the trailer but didn't see him in the opening of the whole subathon, streamathon, new group introduction. So naturally a lot of people will have questions, and DDG came quickly and confirmed that he was not in it. Who you see today is who is in this group.
I understand, bro. I don't get it. But I'm gonna address the elephant in the room, y'all, because nobody else is. Whoever y'all see in this group is in this group. Whoever y'all see today is in this group. Things can be further.
So they were using Jay.
Explain later on, but for right now,
they were using Jay.
this is what it is.
They literally announced the group on like the 29th of September. On the 30th of September, they got together. And then on the 1st of October, they were already broken up. I think it's the most amazing thing in the world. Now, there are some
We're setting records with this one.
other groups that we should probably cover on this channel that are seemingly having a falling apart. We've addressed Max leaving FaZe, and then there's some speculation about Your Rage also not being in FaZe.
Wait, Your Rage has reported to join AMP. Oh, is that really true?
anymore because he's not there for the subathon. But the difference is that your Rage and Max, for what it's worth, have been a part of FaZe and other groups for a long time. I don't think I've ever seen a group be started and instantly fractured a day after its creation.
I'm telling you, like, bro, it's already drama. Crazy, already drama.
Especially by the second biggest member. Usually when people leave the group, it's from the members that really don't matter. You know, the Mopies of the world. My bad. But it became very clear very fast that they were distancing themselves from any affiliation that they had with Cinco a day into the group project. Now, y'all should know my slogan by now. This is why I love the internet, because we're not going to go too far into any sort of time period without getting a response. Everybody exists here. They're going to have to fess up as to what happened. And Cinco opens up some interesting conversations about DDG, about Dub, about Deshae, and about group projects as a whole. You know, group content.
I'm just speaking as a group. That's not a real friend group, bro. That's not a real friend group. Like
it's just co-working. So overall, it's co-working.
Our friend group was always based off of the ranks of popularity. Like last year, I was at the bottom of the rank. If I put up to the club late, nigga tell me, nigga, it's over. Like, you can't even get in the club. Like, I'm not coming out to get you.
Wow.
You gotta call like T.O. or somebody, you feel me? Like, that's the only way a nigga gets somewhere. Like, you know, and that's just a representation of the dynamic of the friend group, you know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody that's a real nigga in this bitch, that really stand on certain shit, that really show love, and they got fucked over a couple times and still remain the same guy. I done got fucked over in relationships and I'm still the same nigga. Nigga told me I shouldn't ask my girl out with a bag and all that. Man, I don't give a fuck what I go through, I'm still the same nigga. You can't let certain shit change you, bro. You know, of course you can move a little different and all that, but don't let that shit change who you is, bro. If that's who you is, that's who you is, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you a solid nigga, don't let no money change you, nigga. Fuck that money. You say fuck that money, nigga. That's selling your soul. Say fuck that money, nigga.
Boy, those are some heavy allegations. I think this is where my unique perspective can come into play here. I remember the inception of AMP, not necessarily as just a fan of the content group, but also as somebody who worked behind the scenes with them. And these were guys who had known each other for quite a while at that point. I think dating back to like the 2K16 days, 2K15 days. They were playing online with each other, you know, getting to know each other offline, meeting up IRL and making content together, having fun, you know, kind of growing as young men in the industry together. This is when there wasn't a bunch of money tied to this industry. It was just a bunch of guys who were passionate about making content, coming together and creating said content. Now, if you fast forward to 2025, the word is out and there is money to be made, but that doesn't mean that you can just shoehorn people together that don't have real relationships or connections in order to make content. Yeah, I think some of these people have one similar link, which might be DDG in the matter, but ultimately fixing a bunch of people in order to make money and strike hot in this content game is not going to yield you long-lasting results, especially because of the personality differences. With the foundation of this group being based off of money, that is always going to be the crux of any decision that they make. Who gets the most screen time? Who gets into the club first? Who gets the biggest piece of chicken? It's always going to be around who has the most fame and who has the most success and who has the most motion at the moment. That means somebody can dictate these things and order these steps. This is why it doesn't surprise me that Cinco ultimately reveals that, you know, this ain't no real friendship. This is just a hierarchy. This is just a money ploy. This is just a game.
Yeah, I want to start off by saying Cinco is lying.
I'm lying. Hey, show the message. Hey, that's why I leave it at that. Show the message. I ain't gotta say nothing else, gang. You wanna prove it to me? Show the message.
I don't be getting when niggas be like, you think you bigger than the program. What exactly is the program, though? I haven't figured that out yet. I'm gonna have to do some research. I don't mind responding to Cinco because, you know, at one point me and Cinco was homies. So if this is gonna help him financially, I'm cool with that. You feel me? I don't have a problem with that. I never start. Everybody always start with me, and then all of a sudden I'm the bully, I'm the mean guy when I keep it going. Oh, you doing too much. Oh, be the bigger person, this and that. Well, I never started it with nobody. Everybody always start with me. I do not take Cinco serious. You just trying to get some money.
Like, to say a nigga drive, like, to make fun of a nigga whip and discredit a nigga success, I made you and all that shit hurt, cuz, like, if a nigga said all that to y'all, bro, and this is just the service level, this ain't even the messages, but if a nigga would've treated y'all like how they treated me getting in that group chat game, like, you would've left that shit too. You wouldn't have stepped a foot in that shit. You would've been like, man, I'm gonna show you niggas. I don't know how, nigga, but I'm gonna show you niggas. And even if it don't amount to greater than other niggas, I'm good for myself. And I forgive niggas, not for them, but for me, so I can walk around and at peace and walk around and enjoy my accomplishments. Various times I try to leave our group chat, you know what I'm saying, and defuse the situation, you know, but like I said, a nigga felt like he was the program. He ran the program, you know what I'm saying? So a nigga kept adding me back and just tearing a nigga down, like coming at a nigga in real disrespectful ways, talking to a nigga like a friend would never talk to. Then like
now, before we go into a real deep dive, I do want to remind everybody that this is DDG. This is the guy who was talking about starting internet drama and internet beef for clicks, likes, and views. That was his whole gimmick and shtick at Streamer University, is that you want to create some sort of drama for the sake of engagement, for the sake of getting views up, for the sake of doing all these different things. And for the most part, that stuff is reigned true. We see how he's dealt with Reggie over the past couple of months, so I could see him playing into that. It also plays out in DDG changing his Twitter bio to the program.
The program.
He is the program as opposed to
No. This dude loves this dude right here, bro. That's crazy. This dude really changed it to the program. Dude, so petty.
bigger than the program. And it also doesn't help that the
That's
reactions
crazy.
of the other members of the group aren't necessarily the best. Like, they're kind of playing with it a little bit too.
This needs Batman.
This nigga right here.
Cinco, DDG, call Batman ASAP.
What is this gimmick?
Yo,
That's wild, bro. I'm sorry, but that was funny. That was funny right here. On serious note, you gotta be serious, but that caught me off guard. That was funny though. I ain't gonna hold you. That was funny though.
Hey, bro, they think it's a script. It's not a script.
I wasn't gonna say it was a script because it's not my business. But I mean, if you said it's not, yeah, this shit real. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I'm finna go live and look, but I ain't gonna talk about it today. I'm just gonna enjoy this fight.
If it was a script and I wanted people to believe that it wasn't a script, the first thing I would say is this is real. Like, I don't know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Let's continue on the video.
My main thing with this whole group is I want to get to a point where we can be looked at like a AMP or looked at like a phase where, you know, we getting brand
I don't think that gonna happen, bro. I mean, it's possible, but right now, like, y'all got drama going on.
deals and we like, you know what I'm saying?
But you know,
We
anything is possible.
building some shit that's substantial. That's why when we dropped the trailer, it said October 1st to forever. And I know, I feel like maybe it would have been more transparent if we would have did a trailer in the actual house rather than doing it in a Airbnb. And I kind of feel like we kind of sold y'all a dream, but at the same time, it's more so about, you know, just it's not about the house, it's about the creator. That's what I'm trying to say.
Was the only room available to do this the bathroom or what? The difference between what DDG is doing and what other groups have done in the past is that other groups were composed of content creators who had already had high levels of success. 2Hype had Cash, LSK, Jesser, who all had about 1 million before getting into the game. Same thing with AMP. Their collective people had almost 1 million subscribers before they got into the space as well. Look at the FaZe Clan. All of them were successful streamers who were averaging at least over like 5,000 per stream before they got into FaZe or whatever number. But when I look at DDG's group, it's just that. It's DDG's group, especially with the subtraction of Cinco.
Wait a minute. It is the whole squad?
Nobody in this group is pulling over 1,000 concurrent views.
Oh man. Wait, what about Deshae? I thought Deshae was pulling ain't Deshae pulling numbers? Is Deshae I don't think Deshae part of the team. Wait, who there? Not like you do. Dang, so DDG really carrying.
So they're going to have the identity of being DDG's group. It almost,
Yeah, most likely they're gonna be DDG yes man.
feels like a record label, something where there's this main artist over it and they have a bunch of artists below them, and the bigger artist is just using the smaller acts in order to get their music off, but not really like a group venture or endeavor. And what I can also say from the clips that we are looking at, these guys seem to barely be friends. So once you start mixing business practices with people that are barely friends, it never is going to turn out well. It's always going to turn out to shit. It's going to expose the bad things that already existed in the friendship, on top of the business matters that aren't going well either.
When the bottles came out, we said Capaholics. So we all was a friend group, but the only thing between our friend group is that some people was cooler than other people, then some others was cooler than other, and then we all combined. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is friends. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, T.O. might hang out with Derek and Cinco more. You get what I'm saying? I hang around Derek and Deshae. Me and my brother hang with Rich more. Kelly and my brother hang around more.
So y'all aren't
You get what I'm
friends.
saying? But
Yeah, I'm gonna say like why y'all all ain't hanging out with like each other, like hang out with them all instead of like just this is like this is co-working, bro. This is really co-working. This is co-working. It's got friend, but it mostly is co-working, bro. Y'all co-workers, bro.
we all were friends. We all was in a
Friends / co-workers, bro. That's what y'all is, bro. Y'all on the clock.
like we all in one. Like this is my birthday. Every birthday we pop out for each other. But I feel like when it like you know what I'm saying. Once you mix business with stuff, bro, it always go bad.
Dub just broke it down for us. They were barely friends from the jump. It seemed like, you know, different pockets of people who had different connections, you know, a total of 9 of them, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. And they had some sort of, you know, degree of separation between the larger group and they kind of just mixed together or whatever. But then they started to put business on top of it, saying that, hey, I need people to give me stream ideas, stream content, or whatever the case may be. And that's how they decided to form a group. But it wasn't like they had true chemistry or whatever. They just pop bottles in the club together. And now they're about to see what happens when this friendship becomes a content group that is a business. And the business,
Like I said, bro, it just co-working. It just co-work now. They just co-working now. That's all it is now that I'm hearing.
that is being made is content. It's relying on people actually being together and being in front of each other and literally doing stuff with each other no matter what is going on.
That's what Max told me. It's a group now. So when y'all get into it, just know that y'all are a business. No, at first y'all was just a friend group. When it's business, when 2 niggas disagree or 3 niggas or 4 niggas disagree on something, you're not stopping, oh, I'm just not going to reply to this nigga in the group chat no more. Or if we go to the club or if we go out to eat, I'm just not going to go because I don't like them. Now it's like, oh, I'm not doing content. I'm not doing business with this person.
I didn't give my predictions when this thing first came out, but I see it failing. Like, I actually do. And I know that that sounds very harsh, and I don't want to see black men's endeavors fail, but I think one of the hardest things to do in content creation is start a group. Nobody's ever going to be on the same page about the message and the agenda. There's actually struggles behind the scenes that a lot of these groups do not talk about. And ultimately, what comes before the friendship is the business. It's a very, very hard balance to keep up, and a lot of people fail at doing that balance. Trust me, I've been behind the scenes of those long nights, those long fights, those I want to punch you moments, but ultimately we have to get on screen together. I know a lot of those OG AMP fans know about those days early before Kai came and before Chris came on camera. But if we have people with these types of attitudes and egos, it was never going to work regardless. So honestly, this was another wasted group like DDG's previous group, man.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, man. God, dog. They basically just co-workers, bro. That's all I'm getting from this, but you already know, man. Legal Rush is not a